Hey guys, so I'm sure you noticed what's going on in Israel with this whole Ronen Bar situation. And now these people are refusing to relinquish power, and they will not. They will not relinquish power easily. So I've said this before, guys. The removal of Jews from Gaza in 2005 in a place called Gush Katif, largely religious and traditional Jews, led directly to October 7th. I'm going to say it again. The removal of Jews from Gaza, of Jewish presence from Gaza in 2005, and subsequent coming into power of Hamas led to October 7th. My friends, we removed Jews from Gaza, inside of Gaza, but we kept religious Jews, right-wing Jews, and we kept left-wing Jews right next to the border of Gaza in Israel, right? My friends, when this happened in 2005 on Tisha B'Av, you know who the commanding officer was? And who made the final speech announcing, here's what we just did and here's what's going to be? A guy by the name of Aviv Kohavi. I'm sure you guys heard of Aviv Kohavi. He eventually became the head of the Ramatkal, the head of the IDF. I think he was the one that was the head of the IDF before Herzi Halevi. I'm not sure. I think he was. My friends, these people have a apparatus. They have what's called a lineage, an apparatus, a good old boys club, whatever you want to call it. And it's been there for years. It's been there probably since the 70s, if not the 60s. And they're not going to give up power just like that. They're not going to give up power to what is the majority of Israel, which is traditional and religious Jews, and people who fought in the army, yes, who fought in the army, even the religious ones, what we call the Dati Leumi, the Kippot Sugrot, right? The Nid Kippas. My friends, they're not going to give up power. What a lot of people call the Concepcia people are not going to give up power to the people that are supposed to technically be running everything, because we're the majority now. They were the majority for years. So, my friends, but here's the kicker. Again, they pulled Jews out of Gush Katif who were religious, and they kept secular Jews on the border of Gush Katif. Not only secular, but lefty Jews. And by the way, friends, you know that they know that Hamas knows exactly what they're doing, right? They take these hostages, and they know, because we see it on the streets, that the people, their relatives and people like them who are going to demand the release of the hostages don't understand basic logic. I'm not even talking about halacha and Torah. They don't understand logic. If you release at any price orcs, those orcs are going to come back to kill you, right? My friends, Yahya Sinwar was one of the orcs released in exchange for Gilad Shalit. And if you speak to these people, say, oh, the government's going to figure it out, the government's this, the government's that. My friends, clearly, no. Unless you do have a plan to wipe those guys out, the ones you're releasing, right? In exchange for our people, half of whom are dead. My friends, so this goes way back. This whole situation goes way back. When I found out about October 7th, it was shocking, but it wasn't surprising, if you know what I mean, if that makes any sense. Because it all began in 2005, Tisha B'Av, the worst day on the Hebrew calendar, the most calamitous day, when we pulled Jews, religious Jews, out of Gaza. And we gave it away, and it turned into basically a terror base for Iran, a forward operating base for Iran. And we got rockets and rockets and rockets. And yeah, the Concepcia and the IDF said, okay, they're just going to lob rockets at us and occasional kites and occasional this. Yeah, they kidnapped a soldier. Okay, that happened. It was a one-off. My friends, but now we see this. Right? It led to this. That 2005 pull out of Gush Katif, what they call Hitnatkut, led to this. And it's the same people in power as the ones that were in power at that time. I'm talking about in the army, my friends, in the what's called the Ramatkal, the IDF General Staff, the same types, the Concepcia guys. Now, my friends, we have new generals, hopefully with a different kind of Concepcia, not the Concepcia. Now we have different people in power. But you see, they want to fire the old guard. Nope. Oh, now we got to bring in this whole other thing. Qatar Gate, all this stuff, my friends. You see what's happening. This is an attempted coup. It's an attempted coup. They're not going to relinquish power easily, my friends. They're not going to do it. There is a covert administrative civil war in Israel. Hopefully it doesn't spill over into real civil war, my friends. As we know from, I'm a former Soviet citizen. As we know from these kind of things, you have 10% of these fruitcakes trying to rule 90% of the rest of the country. Bolshevism, right? My friends, not 80, 90% of the country is normal, right-wing, right of center. Even the left of center people have moved to the right, or to the middle, or to the right middle. 90% of the country is normal. It's that 10% that flippin', the people who run the Histadrut and the majority of the media and the Supreme Court who won't let their claw go. My friends, it's gonna happen eventually, by hook or by crook. I just hope it happens more peacefully than not, let's put it that way. Just so you guys understand what you're looking at right now. It goes all the way back to 20 years ago. In August, it'll be 20 years, my friends. Zat Hashem. All right, talk to you soon.